When you want your mastering proper.
Compound Audio, we specialise in digital and analogue mixing and mastering. Catering for major record labels, independent labels and self-finance artists.
Right now it's Azza from TNA. I'm here to let you know that I use Compound Audio for mastering.
This is Devilman and I use Dapz at Compound Audio, yeah?
Hi, my name's DJ Rap and I have been working with Dapz from Compound Audio to master my records for the last 10 years.
Yo, this is DJ Fantasy, SAS in the house. And you know what? We use Compound Audio for all our mastering.
It's TJ, label A&R at D&B All-Stars, and whenever it comes to getting tunes finalised and mastered, I go to Dapz at Compound Audio.
Yo, this is X-Man, and standardly I work with Dapz down at Compound Audio.
For more information, go to www.compoundaudio.net.
Right, let's kick it off. First track, Identity Testicles, MP3. Let's do this.
My identity, I need to find my phone ringing on repeat. Guess it's no more you and me. Stuck in my mind when I'm fighting with my feelings. Gotta stay strong cause you know I'm always drilling. Stacking all my chips cause they call me a player. Snakes on my wrist, yeah, I guess I have to spray her. Smoking in the Benz, yeah, I know I'll have to see her. I don't wanna lie no more. Overdose of love, lying on the floor. I don't wanna lie no more. I don't wanna lie no more. I don't wanna lie no more. Drop top, bag down, stars on the roof. Rockstar lifestyle, damn, call me Uzi. When these girls see me, they say, who's he? I don't mean to be playing, but they always play me. There ain't no danger, friends into a stranger. Now they just a hater, now we'll see you later. Middle fingers up, so high. I've been trying just to get by. You've been switching on me like a switch knife. Hold on me, oh damn, oh my. I lost my identity. I need to find my phone ringing on repeat. Guess it's no.
Just checking the sides.
In my mind when I'm
Mono.
fighting with my feelings. Gotta stay strong cause you know I'm always drilling. Stacking all my chips cause they call me a player. Snakes on my wrist, yeah, I guess I have to spray her.
Deep. Yo. Big ups for the follow. Urban Spirit Productions. Big ups. Okay, cool. So, nice tune. Very current. Oh yeah, one other thing I wanted to point out is in the past couple of weeks, when we were doing the mid-sides, I only spotted this because of editing the past shows, putting them on YouTube and that lot. When we go from mid-sides, for some reason, OBS has been mixing them down to mono. So yeah, you're going to hear the sides anyway, like this. And then when we go to mids, but when we go back to stereo, you probably didn't notice anything between stereo and mono only because of OBS. So apologies for that. This it's all sorted now anyway. So when we go from mono now, then to stereo, you should notice the difference if you're in headphones or in speakers or something. But anyway, I mean the balance is quite nice. I think it needs more energy, like it needs a bit more hype. The top end needs a bit more hype. The first thing I'd probably slap on this is something to do with the high end, so we could go for something like this. Snakes on my wrist, yeah, I guess I have to spray her. Smoking in the Benz, yeah, I know I'll have to see her. Because the thing is with this music, it is all about that 808 bass. It is all about that weight in the tune. But at the same time, you need to equal it out with the air. So that's what I've drawn for this plugin, Fresh Air. It's great to just add that super tops. I mean, looking at the spectrogram, I don't know if this is because it's an MP3 or what, but if you can just see, there's like a line where the bass line stops. So the bass line in red, and then you can see all the harmonics going up. and then it just stops, and it's as if like there's nothing past 4K other than the hats and the claps and whatnot. If I bypass this fresh air plugin now,
Play me, there ain't no danger. Friends into a stranger, now they just a hater. Now we'll see you later. Middle fingers.
it just feels like it brings energy to the vocals and to the actual claps and the hats and stuff. So for me, I would definitely go back to the mix and apply things like OTTs is a must for this style of music. I mean, all I've done is applied fresh air quite a lot, to be fair. I mean, you wouldn't do this in a mastering situation, but it's just to prove the point that with it, without,
phone ringing on repeat.
it's as if it just needs it to open it up. Moving on, we have section, tight fit. Just skip the middle breakdown. Skip
so
that.
What you want me to do? Give me something to dance to.
Nice. Old tight London section. I think that the track is nice. There's a lot of metals in there. Me and Moisin have a thing about metals in people's tunes, and this has definitely got the metals in there. I just feel tonally it needs to have more low end. This top end from around 6k needs to come down, and it needs more air. Once again, another track that needs air from around 20k. If I just bypass this, look. This dip here removes all that. It's like a... So I can hear this. And that is part of the break. So again, in the mix, probably have a look at that. Put a dynamic EQ in there, or use Soothe or something just to sort of soften that area within that break. It's that area here which is rinsing for me. So that's why what I did is I highlighted these areas here and just sort of softened them a bit. But by doing that, it allows me to open up the air band. Don't copy what I've done here. This is just what I've just done across your whole entire tune. So go back to the mix and I think it would come out better. So thank you, Section, for sending that one, mates. Anyway, moving on. We have got Jack South, Receiver, 81. Checking the sides. Some dark business. Alright, cool. Again, another Photech Metalheads style tune. Samurai breaks, the metals. So really, like these last two tunes are something to take note with in regards to metals in your tunes, the breaks. It just works really well. So when I was like listening to it, I was going from mids and sides, and I noticed that when I was playing the track in mono, and then you go to sides, a load of information comes, and what it is, it's the snare that's in the sides. So notice when we do go to mono, the top end, that energy from the clap snare disappears. And then go back to stereo. Let me know if you can notice the difference between the mono and the stereo, because as I say, OBS, I think it's just like a default setting. It just mixes it down to mono. It's a great tune. I mean, I've had to put a limiter on it as well to bring it up in level, because otherwise it just won't sound as loud as all the others, and then you get that louder sounds better biased. But yeah, it's that whole sides where the clap's sitting. You can see it here in this analyzer, look. This bottom one here is the sides. This top one is mono. So when we press play, yeah, so basically what's happened then is you've either put an imager on the clap snare and it's created a Hass effect, and the Hass effect will take a mono signal, pan it to the left, pan it to the right, and then create milliseconds difference between them. And as a result, it sounds great, it sounds wide, but the downside to it all is that you are left with a non-mono compatible signal. So in a club, I mean, it would still work, but the clap might sound duller because clubs play in dual mono. It's not left and right. Other than that, it sounds cool. Jack South, nice one for sending that in, mate. It's really, really good work. I just think that you need to go back to the mix and sort out the problem with the clap or the snare. Although it sounds great with the width, you can keep that, but then try and get a clap which stays focused in the middle. Because we've said this time and time again with other tracks, when you play your track in mono, you should be able to hear everything. And then when you go to stereo, things shouldn't just pop out in terms of, well, where did that sound come from? It wasn't there a minute ago. You should be able to identify everything. Stereo should just be ear candy. So yeah, big in the game. Moving on is Sir Dre and Salvage featuring Jolie. I'm not too sure. He said he was going to be in the chat today, so it'd be nice if he was in the chat, mate. Just checking the mid sides. Okay, cool. Wicked tune. Solid. Everything's hitting hard. You can hear the kick, you can hear the snare, you can hear the bass. Everything you can identify. Everything's there. All the elements are there. I've brought up this EQ. These look like big moves. They're not that big, to be fair, because it's so zoomed in. But what I felt was missing, or what they missed in this tune, was a lot of low end in 40 hertz. It's really, really pushed with the high mids. So what I've done is I've boosted the low frequencies. I've took away a bit from the kick because I felt like it was just knocking a lot. And then this whole entire high mids to highs, I've just put on a dynamic EQ to, again, soften. So we'll just press play and then bypass the EQ. Very, very subtle difference. This is what I'm saying. It's not big moves. It's because we're so zoomed in. But for example, this is where the kick is sitting. I just feel it's quite heavy. These red blobs is the kick. But you can see how the kick is sitting on top of the sub. There's no sidechain on the sub. So it would be nice if the kick was sidechaining space from the sub. Then that way you could get more bottom end. I think that's maybe why you're being shy with the low end, because you're probably pushing it and then the kick starts to break up. So you've gone for loudness. Yeah, I mean it's hitting minus 4.5, -5 short turn luffs, which is great for this style of music. It hits hard. It will sound great in a club. But I just feel like you missed the low end. I think you was more happy with how loud you can get it to more weight. And I think the bass and the sub is very important. I would definitely do something in the second half because I think it is a copy paste. Just keep it interesting. The problem with today's music, well, not that it's a problem. The way I see it going is that you'll have a drop and then you'll have a space for the second tune to double drop with it, and then you'll be pretty much track end. It's because people do an intro, then they do like 64 bars or whatever, and then it's a copy paste. And why have a copy paste? Why have a second part to the tune? Just have it as one half, but make these first two sections of the tune really interesting. So I just think it's going to be one drop, and then the second part of the tune is like the ride out to allow other tunes to double drop over it for this style of music. You know what I mean? Right. Shadray Salvage, wicked tune, mate. Absolutely brilliant. Thanks for sending that in. Next one, Original Sin. The man like Original Sin, you know. It's called Original Sin, Azza, Grimer, Devilman, Bass 7, but Azza and Grimer or Devilman's not on this yet. I was only sent the vocals for it today, so this is just the instrumental. Check it out. Trust me, who said reload? Who said reload? Okay, jeez. So, when I spoke to Adam today, because obviously I got sent this tune ages ago, and he said to me, look, it's just a whip, just for the vocals to be done. And I was like, bro, let me use this in in the stream. And he was like, oh, I don't know, because it's a whip. I said, don't worry, I won't put you down. So thank you for letting me use that, man. I did try and get him in the chat today, but it wasn't there. So, still, let's see what we can find wrong with it. For me, it was these bits here. Right, let me find Rezo. There she is. Let's see if Rezo can pick it up. And it has. It's picked it up here. It's picked up some other bits as well. Okay, so really we don't want any of this lot. We just want to be able to tame these two massive spikes. It's a pretty tough one, I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Ethel. There's not a lot wrong here. If you look at it on this target curve here, I mean, look, the low end is there. It's there, look. It's right on the money. So, you know, I'm going to put it down to it being a whip, and it's not even finished or anything. So I just wanted to play the tune, to be fair. Right, moving on. Merrick's crew, are you in the chat still, bro? You're up. Constant, Merrick's, Suspicious. It is booked in for mastering, but we needed to just give it some feedback first. So check it out.
think you're good enough.
Checking the sides.
Before you get a chance to fight with me,
This is really nice. Like, it's interesting. The whole track is interesting from start to finish. There's loads going on. There's no like copy pastes. You know what I mean? Like from the first drop to the second drop. There's loads of stop starts and interesting cuts. So really well done. You know, on this one. There's a hi-hat that comes in.
these two swordsmen first.
There, here. So that hi-hat, tick, 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 I just feel like it's quite far in front in the mix. It'd be nice if that was just sort of brought back just a little bit, just so that it's not leading. Because although this is great, the tune's great, the layout, the production, you know, what you've done is great. And in terms of the mix, there's something going on in the lower mix. And it could be a combination, right? That you've got this bass. And then you've got the snare. And them two are really sitting tight together. Look, you can see it here. Although it works as it is, for me, it's like you've got those fast loops in the back, those backing loops, and I'm thinking they may have too much low mids to them. So you'd have to get the backing loops. And just sort of like high pass them quite high to allow the kick to sit there, allow the main snare to sit there. Because at the moment, the kick's there, you can hear it here. But it's at the same time, all your drum elements are quite low in frequency. Looking at the spectrogram now, you can see that everything below 400 hertz, there's loads of information, like loads. There's just loads of information there. Just wanted to try a little something, because in my head I'm just like, there's something that I need to do in terms of the drums. Let's just try this a minute. Where's it put that? And then we need duck. Let's just see how we get on with this, just as an example. Just copy paste that out a minute. So you notice that hat come back in again now. So with the drums I've just put in, and then as it was. Obviously I've got a sidechain going across your whole entire tune. What I'm just trying to do is, will less be more in the drums? Because I like all the drums. I like the backing loops where they're all shaking, but I just feel like the basses and everything is in front of the drums, and it'd be nice if you had some characteristic kick and snare to lead, like similar to what I've put, not the same, but what I'm doing is showing you an example. But nevertheless, guys, thank you so much for sending that in. Absolutely wicked tune. Obviously, you've got that booked in for mastering with me, so let me know if you wanted to make any alterations or anything before we go ahead, because I want to make sure it's sounding perfect. Right, moving on. We have Posk with a track called No Time to Waste. Here we go.
But I like it too, 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 too. Wasting my time with you, but I like it too, too, too.
Checking the mid-sides. Jeez, sending out the signals, you know what I mean? Posk, oh my days. Are you in the chat, bro? That is just like some madness. So, for me, right, I think the tune's pretty sick. It definitely sends out the message. Again, you can hear all the elements in the mix. There's a nice bit of break. There's like a break that comes in towards the end of the tune. Yeah, here. Does it come in earlier? I mean, I didn't hear it. That needs to come earlier, Poss. Come on, man. You need to bring that in earlier, bro. So, I mean, that's where the energy and the hype, you know, the tune changes gear right there. Do you know what I mean? Towards the end of this tune, I felt like the energy was getting more and more, like it was intense. The basses were getting more higher. It was just screaming. So, yeah, definitely think about cutting the last 32 or 64 of the tune and sort of moving it a bit further over, because towards the end is where a lot of the energy is. I mean, I know it's only a 3.5 minute tune, and this is going back to what we were saying about there's one drop, there's one actual drop, and then, you know, the rest of it is more double drop, which in a way, this is how this is laid out, you know, so well done, man. When it comes down to the mono compatibility, I noticed again, it's another tune where you play it in mono and some of the elements are gone. Look, check it out, mono. Stereo. It's like those hi-hats disappear. They're all in the sides, look. The kick drum's even in the sides. There is no right and wrong, but I wouldn't have the kick in stereo. I mean, if you want it in stereo, then have the higher frequencies from 500 hertz and upwards. So, for example, if we just bang the imager on, with mono below 100 hertz here, we'll just press play inside. And then I would be more up here with the kick. There's a plugin out there called Sublane or Bass Lane or something. This beast here, let's have a quick look, see if we can find it. It's called Bass Lane, and that is great. This is great for when you've got like mono basses and it kind of goes against the grain. Everyone's like, you shouldn't make basses in stereo, but this does it an octave higher. It's really, really cool. So if we go to sides and then we turn up the harmonics, like find where the fundamental is. So without, with, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I would rather have that information in the tune than the kick. Do you see what I'm saying? Because it fills out the bottom more. It gives you that better perception of a better bass. And then I'll take this off. You really need to be in headphones or speakers to hear the difference on this. And again, I'm only using it very lightly. So yeah, that's one thing. I don't think he's been using any sidechain, because again, you can see the kick, it's falling into the bass. There's no distinction between the two. Yes, you can hear the kick. Yes, you can hear the bass. There is like an indication that he's just stopped before the kick comes in. Maybe he has used sidechain. I don't know. But otherwise, wicked tune. What my feedback would be is go back to the mix, and you need to look into the imaging. So if you've used any stereo eyes or stereo widening, think about why and try and create stereo by using similar sounds and then panning them, or making one wide like the Hass effect, but then also duplicate the channel and have one focused in the mono. Because again, I can't stress it enough, when you play the track in mono, you should hear everything, and then when you go back to stereo, that's when things feel wide or depth, not where did that sound come from, it wasn't there a second ago. But yeah, Posk, brilliant, mate. I know you got 4 of these bangers for Fat Man D, and we're in the process of getting these mastered, so big ups. But Salvage, bro, welcome in, man. You missed your tune. What is going on? You missed your tune. You missed Original Sin's tune. Come on, man. What is going on, bro? You'd have to catch the rerun. Do you know what I mean? You have to catch the rerun. So, we've got a couple more left. But yeah, otherwise, Savage, just stick around, bro. Next up is Cynical Genie, Bait 08. You know what? I've just left it inside like an absolute idiot. Needs a vocal. I think this is a copy paste. See, it's another tune where in mono a lot of the elements fall out again. Right, let's just have a look, because on this I felt like the top end was a bit scratchy. Yeah, it's this area here. So again, push it down with a dynamic EQ. And what happens is you lose the transient snap. So we go for split EQ. I love this EQ because it enables you to change the tonal balance without affecting the transients. So for example, there's another one as well here, I think. So let's just bypass that now. Again, it's zoomed in, so these moves are not that much, but you can notice the difference in the top end. So Cynical Genie, you need to go back and soften the breaks, because all that is just really spitty. So again, that's just a mixdown thing. The rest of the tune, the elements are there. I think you should saturate the basses heavier. The basses need to be a lot more, not aggressive, but more saturated, because the kick snares there, it's knocking, it's nice, they're not punchy, there's no like big depth to them. Again, it's going back to them earlier tunes we were playing, the section tracks and the Jack South tune that we played. There's no major weight in the drums. And also further down the line, probably just add some old break or something, you know, like an old jungle break or something. And let's have a look. Let's just try that. Hopefully we're in time, yeah. But yeah, let's have a look. See, for me, that's a nicer top end than what's going off in the tune. It just feels like it's missing this break. So with the break, see, you've missed it completely. Like, that's what it needs. You've got the backbone of the drums, the kick, the snare, but what I think now has happened is you've pushed the top end because you have no high-end elements. There's no high-end elements. Like this break here, this is filling out what's missing. See, without it, the tune just feels a bit flat. So Cynical Genie, wicked, mate. Nice one, man. Next up, we have man like Papa G, Jamie G, Fat Buff, New School Mix. Paps, are you still in the chat, bro? Let's do this. Who said reload? Moisin, come on. I love a bit of AOM. Yeah, the stereo's all good, mate. Mate, I haven't really got much to say about that one still. Mate, it hits hard, smacks it. I think we had a little chat about this at some point today. And so looking at the wave here, nice and thick, going back to the good old crest factor. So by the looks of things, you've limited your buses, you've clipped the drums, you've done everything that you're supposed to do. But then we come across all these like spikes and peaks. Let's see what this is. So that would be the Amen, the effect, as in the liquor shot effect. So where all these peaks are coming from would be the sample, the vocals. So to me, it indicates that you left that out. You didn't limit your effects channels, as in the effects textures, the vocals, the sample, the same way as what you did the basses. As we say, dynamic sounds, limit. Transient sounds, clip. So with your drums, drum bus, clip it to shave off the peaks. With the basses, sub, pads, whatever's dynamic, it's got a lot of movement, you want to limit. But it's up to you. If you want to go back to the mix and just sort of take care of some of these peaks or these spikes, whatever you want to call them, it's up to you. Because essentially I can do it anyway in the master. But what will happen is when it passes these sections with a limiter, it's pushing the whole tune. Whereas you've got control over just the elements that need pushing, if you know what I mean. So that would have been the last one, but we've had two Justin Timberlakes. So let's have a look. So we have demo, interlude. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, big ups, man. Thank you for joining in, mate. Nice, deep, emotional. It's definitely a nice bit of work of art there. I could hear it at the end of like them like short dramas, you know, some like Netflix I'd definitely be hitting them up to be used at the end of like some sort of, what's it called, Black Mirror. I like the vocals. I like what you're doing with the vocals. This depends if you want to go sort of freaky with it. It's because you've got the female and the male harmonies going in there. If you wanted to be freaky with it, I would come with something like this. But we need to isolate the mid-tone, so let's just go over here and just sort of see what's going on. I'll be like doing something like that, you know, one of them ones, just some freaky shit. So yeah, lovely tune, absolutely like it, very, very emotional, so powerful. Next is ZY Orbit JH01 Mixmaster. Let's do this.
Okay, a door. I wonder where it leads.
We'll never know.
Stuck in orbit, mayday. Miss my home, my baby. I can't survive without you. Caught up in rotation, lost current location. I'll just float here missing you.
This is a big improvement on that last one, on the last version, should I say, Because I remember those high pitched vocals, and then there was a bass line which really comes up, like the sub really comes up. And by the looks of it now, when it passed that part on the spectrogram, you could see there was extra harmonics that you've added now. And that was what we spoke about. We were saying it's just a single sine wave. Try and add some more harmonics to it. So you've really gone to work on it. Yeah, you did the right thing. You went back to it. You took on board what we said and everything, which was great. I don't want to send you down a rabbit hole of saying little minor things, because I know that can sometimes trigger people and be like, oh man, I've got to go back into it. For me, if I was to be really picky, it's just the clap. Like, it's so nice. But you see how you've got the depth in the tune. You've got like all this space, as in the depth from the reverbs and everything. Got a lot of atmosphere is what I'm getting at. You've got all the right things in stereo, and then you've got all the right things in mono. It's just the clap is like right up here. It's like here, instead of it being not in the back but having a throw on it. Like, it's like, it's, again, this is me. This is just a personal preference. So I don't want to send you down some rabbit hole, but I think it should be more like, you know what I mean? So you've got that dry clap, and then it offsets into a lengthy reverb. So wicked. Excellent. So that brings us to the end. Again, as always, thank you everybody for submitting the tracks and for taking part in the chat. It's always a laugh. Hopefully we'll be back again next week. Just keep sending your tunes in. It's there, feedback@compoundaudio.net, and we will review more. So yeah, as always, thank you so much once again. I'm going to leave you with this little advert, Compound Audio advert.
When you want your mastering proper.
Compound Audio, we specialise in digital and analogue mixing and mastering, catering for major record labels, independent labels and self-financed artists.
Right now it's Azza from TNA. I'm here to let you know that I use Compound Audio for mastering.
This is Devilman, and I use Dapz at Compound Audio, yeah?
Hi, my name's DJ Rap, and I have been working with Dapz from Compound Audio to master my records for the last 10 years.
Yo, this is DJ Fantasy, SAS in the house. And you know what? We use Compound Audio for all our mastering.
It's TJ, label A&R at D&B All Stars, and whenever it comes to getting tunes finalised and mastered, I go to Dapz at Compound Audio.
Yo, this is X-Man, and standardly I work with Dapz down at Compound Audio.
For more information, go to www.compoundaudio.net.